Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Gonna do a real quick video. Uh-oh, you know what that means every time I say a quick video. So I'm making some sofrito today. And for those of you that have made sofrito before, remember that everyone makes it different. But I'm gonna explain to you guys what sofrito is. That way you can make your own version. And let me explain to you why my mom used to make it and why I decide to make it. Now you can make, first of all, what's sofrito? Sofrito is kind of like your ingredients base. So if you have staples that you eat on a regular basis or pretty frequently, then you already know what ingredients to use. So when I was growing up, my mom worked and my dad worked. So my mom would come from work and she would make dinner. Well, sofrito is a way of taking your ingredients base and making it in bulk. That way you can have it. That way you can have it to use during the week when you really don't have the luxury of time to make it from scratch. So what you do is you make it. Some people just put it in the refrigerator. I like to freeze it. All right. And then every time that you need that ingredients base, like to make rice and beans or to make pinto beans, like the ingredients base for rice and beans and pinto beans is pretty much the same, all right? And then towards the end of cooking, whatever it is that you're cooking, you can tweak it by adding a little bit of whatever you think might be missing. But the point is that it saves you all the time of getting all your ingredients out, cutting everything up, putting it all together, and then cooking your meal. In this manner, all you have to do is just go to the fridge or the freezer, get some of your sofrito, and you can start your meal right away. It cuts down on a lot of time, okay? So like I said, everyone makes it different. I make my own version that works for me, that my family enjoys, okay? So if you watch any other videos where they're making it saying this is authentic Puerto Rican sofrito, it could be authentic to them, all right? But like I said, everyone does it a little bit different, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. So first, as you can see this pot here, it has about 20 ounces of extra virgin olive oil. What are you doing? My wife is here ducking down like if the camera's pointed towards her. The camera is pointed at the stove. You can stand up. Okay. So, like I said, I've got about 20 ounces of extra virgin olive oil, okay? Now, I know that in the past I've told you all that my mom used to use corn oil for most of the cooking, but I don't like to go cheap on this because this does add a lot of flavor to your food, right? So there's about 20 ounces of olive oil in there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you all know that I don't like measuring, okay? So I'm going to attempt to measure everything I'm putting in here. That way you can have an idea, because I don't like writing either, and I'm not going to be writing recipes. So if you want to try this, go ahead and stop it. Go away. Go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Alaska Prepper is over here trying to give me wet willies while I'm doing this. I don't understand why. Anyways, so if you guys want to take notes on how to do this so you can try your own, by all means, please do. All right. But normally I wouldn't even measure. I would just put stuff in there. And now remember, what I'm making here is going to be for about anywhere between 6 to 9 meals, okay? Because depending on the size of the dish that you're making will depend on how much of this you use. And I really recommend that you try this because it's a huge time saver. So another thing, the oil that I have in here, it's just room temperature, all right? It's not on. I would never do this with the oil hot, okay? I'll show you what happens here later on when I put in all the ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and add pretty much all of this pepper. This is just black pepper. I'm going to go ahead and add pretty much, but I'm measuring it so I can show you guys. So we got 1 tablespoon, 2. So you have about 2.5 tablespoons, okay, of black pepper. Of course, you all know that we have to add some adobo. We're going to go ahead and add 1. Let's say that's 1. Definitely going to add more than that. I've got another one right here. That one was just about empty when I grabbed it. Okay. So we got 2. 3. I'm going to add 4. Okay, 4 of them. Let me go ahead and close that up. That way it doesn't end up making a mess. Let's see. I'm going to add a little bit of oregano. Now you guys can add fresh oregano. Everything that I'm putting in here, if you want to add fresh, you can. There are some things that I'm using that's, you know, out of a jar, and you'll see. But I'm going to add a little bit of oregano. I won't put a lot of this in here because not everyone in my family likes the taste of strong oregano. But it does help to add an extra layer of flavor to your food. So I do put it in here, even if it's just a small amount. So I'm going to assume that I'm putting in here about 1 tablespoon. But really, you can add as much of this as you want, depending on how much you like it. Okay, and that's the oregano. I'm going to add some salt. This just happens to be sea salt, but you can add whatever kind of salt you want to add to this. I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of salt. Oh, that should be about 3. It overlapped a little bit. Okay. That's the salt. All right. We're almost done with the dry ingredients. I'm going to add about 6 of these packets of Sazon Goya. All right, that's 3. Oh, you know what? I grabbed 7 packets. I'm really only going to need 6. So let me cut this one off. Okay, and as you can see, everything in there is starting to mound up. Now I'm going to add about a half of an onion that's fresh that I had in the fridge. I'm down to about a half an onion, so I cut that up. But it's going to take more than half of an onion. So I'm going to go ahead and add some dehydrated onions, which is fine. Okay. So in addition to my half of an onion, I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of this dehydrated onion. If I was only using dehydrated onions, I'd probably add about 6. And now here are my onions. Okay, we are all done with the dry ingredients. Okay, so I got about a half an onion here. Let me grab a spoon. Okay. I've got here some cilantro, all right? This equals out to about a bushel. Let me show you the size of the bushel that they sell at the store here. That way you guys can see about what a bushel looks like, or what I mean by a bushel. All right. I'm probably using the wrong terminology by saying a bushel. But this is a bushel right here, the cilantro. It's just a small packet, or a bunch. Yeah, a bunch. This is just a small packet. They're probably about 79 cents or so at the store. I went ahead and put an entire one of these in there, okay? And that's this one right here that I've got cut up, all right? And it's like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to put the same amounts that I'm putting in here. You can put whatever it is that you think you're going to need. And when you actually cook your food, if you need to tweak it, if you need to add a little more, then you can. You know, when it comes to spices, it's better to underspice and then tweak it than to overspice. Right here, I probably have about the equivalent of 2 red peppers. All right, 2 red bell peppers, and these are roasted, okay? Now, I grew up watching my mom use like Italian peppers, the long banana peppers that are, she used to call them Italian peppers. I have no idea if that's where they come from. I couldn't find those here. So what I did is I got some mild chili peppers. So these still add a really good amount of flavor to it, but they're not hot, so they're not spicy. Okay, and there's about 3 full chili peppers in there. Let me put that in there. Okay. Now, this is a, how many ounces? Almost 6-ounce jar of olives. I'm going to put this entire jar in there. Give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and drain the juice out of this. Okay. These here, I think I've shown you these before. These are capers. Okay. I'm going to add probably about 3 full tablespoons of capers. Okay. And they're heaping. Okay, so that's that. Let me close this up so it doesn't make a mess. And now the last thing I'm going to add to this is going to be some minced garlic, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and add about 6 tablespoons of minced garlic in here. Now you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm making enough seasoning here for about between 6 and 9 meals. So this is really not a lot of garlic. It may seem like a lot, but it's really not when you break it into 6 different meals. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn the flame on. And I'm going to heat this up nice and slowly. And I've got a potato masher here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate all of this together. You're mixing all of this together. Look how nice that looks. I hope you guys can see this. Let me see if I can show you. Oops, I got my finger in the way there. And what you want to do is you want to kind of crush it, all right? You don't have to try to kill it, but just crush it and heat it at a slow heat for probably about half an hour to an hour. And once you heat this at a slow heat for probably about half an hour to an hour, so I'm going to bring this up to heat right now. Right now the heat is a little bit high, so I want to bring this up to heat. I don't want to bring it up to high heat, all right, because you've got a lot of oil in there and you got a lot of water in there, okay? But what you're going to do is this, and the video is going to end here very shortly, okay, because I'm not going to have you guys sit through just watching this thing heat up. But what I'll do is this, the next time that I do a video, I'll take some of this out and I'll show you what the end product is, okay? Right now I'm using my phone's camera, so I really can't do any editing on that phone. I'm definitely not any good at it. Alright, I don't even know if that phone has a function to edit my videos. But what I will do is, the next time I put up a video, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. And what I will do is, once this is done and it's all mixed in, and the reason you want to leave it at low heat for a while is because all of the water from all of these vegetables that you put in here, from the olives, the onions and all that, it will all try to evaporate out, right? And you'll be left with just the actual vegetables without too much water in there and with the oil, okay? And then what I'll do after that is I'll take this mixture. When it's all done, it should look somewhat like a puree, okay? I'll take this mixture and I'll put it in a bowl, or a square bowl is what I use for this, and I will let it cool down to room temperature and then I'll put some either foil over it, or I'll put a lid on it, and I'll put it in the freezer. Once it hits room temperature, I'll put it in the freezer. Okay, and it'll be ready for you to use for whatever it is that you want to use to cook with it. And like I said, all you have to do is, once you're ready to use it, all you have to do is just cut a block out or a piece out that's big enough to satisfy the meal you're making, and then it's all done. So as you can see, you saw how long it took me to get all the spices and everything and put in here. So you're pretty much eliminating all the time that you saw me took in gathering the spices, measuring it, and putting it in the pot. And all you have to do is just take this, take it out, put it in your pan, whatever it is you're going to cook in. All right, it'll melt down, and then start cooking your meal. All right, so what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is this. I'm going to try my best to download this portion of the video into my computer to see if I can make the next portion and splice them together. Okay, can't make any promises, so if this video doesn't have that other attachment to it, that's why, because I couldn't edit it. And if it does, then you'll see me here in a few minutes. Okay, but if it doesn't, remember, the next time I'll do a video, I'll bring this out and show you guys. Okay, so that's going to be about it for now. I hope you guys took some notes. If not, rewind, because this here is a big time saver. And I personally think that by doing this, what we're doing right now, and then by putting in the fridge or the freezer, that it allows all the flavors to blend together, and you can really taste them a lot better. Okay, it's almost like, you know, when you have leftovers, a lot of people say, man, leftovers tasted better the next day than when they did when I ate it fresh. A lot of people say that, and I say that about a lot of foods as well. So it's almost the same concept here. You're allowing all of those molecules to break down and to combine together, making a much better flavor than what it was by itself. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to you here in a few minutes. Hopefully I'll be able to splice this video. In case I don't, though, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out. I'm back. All right, so check this out, ladies and gentlemen. What I ended up doing is, once this was all cooked and it started to come to a boil even at a low temperature, I went ahead and grabbed the stick blender and I blended everything together. This is what it's going to look like right here. Now you can see a little oil on the top, but once you freeze it, that oil is not going to get super hard, and you should be able to cut this with a knife. All right, once it's frozen, if you keep it in the freezer. Now, I know that there are recipes out there for green sofrito, but the one that I make comes out red, and this is the one that I enjoy using most. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. If you buy that sofrito that comes in the jar in the stores, and you make this yourself, first of all, this is going to be a lot less expensive, in my opinion. But not that, but the quality is a lot better, and you can control the flavors that goes in it. Okay, so this is what you end up with. And if we were 50 years ahead of where we are right now, and you can smell through the internet, you would definitely give this a try, because it smells really good. Okay, so I hope you guys give this a try and let me know. So what you would do is, like, for example, let's say that you get home and you don't have too much time to cook, right? But you've already got this done. So like, if you wanted to make that Spanish rice recipe that I showed you guys that I made, what you would do is you would probably take about this much. You would put it in your pot. You would put in your water, you know, your rice. You won't have to put any salt in there. And then if you wanted to put vegetables in, you could put vegetables in, and you're done. You don't have to worry about getting all your spices out. You don't have to worry about putting them away. You don't have to worry about measuring them. All you do is grab this, put it in your pot, and then cook your meal. And you've got everything that you need in there as far as spices go. So I'll let you decide whether that's a time saver for you or not. I know that it is for me, because whenever I go ahead and grab this right here, it just saved me all the time of getting everything I needed. I know everything's already in here. Very convenient. Okay. So like I said, if you guys try this, which I hope you do, Let me know how it comes out, and let me know how you guys like it. Okay, and make your own version. Okay, because this doesn't have to have the ingredients that I put in it. It can have whatever ingredients you want to use. All right, depending on what kind of foods you're used to eating and like to eat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a like, and please share. All right, and happy cooking to all of you. All right, many blessings to all of you. This is Alaska Prepper. I'm out.